Hello my friends and welcome to Empowered by Michaela Smith. Today I would like to talk to you about knowing yourself in order to become a better leader. These days there is a lot of talk about being an authentic leader. Now this is very often easier said than done, especially if you are new to your leadership role. And even for people that have been in their leadership roles for 10, 20 years, it is not always easy to show up as who you really are inside, because that requires us to show that we've got sometimes fears, we are vulnerable, we need help, we don't know what to do, and that is a scary place to be. So in order to be an authentic leader and to be a better leader, you really first have to understand who you are inside. And that's why I would like to reflect on this today in this session. There is a beautiful old Chinese proverb which says, tension is who you think you should be. Relaxation is who you really are. The first point I would like to stop and talk about is why. Why do you want to become a leader, or why have you already become a leader? And we know Simon Sinek has been talking about the question of why really widely, and man, is he right in here. If you allow me for a second, I'm going to be a little bit blunt and a little bit straightforward. In our large companies, what sometimes happens is that you get promoted in the leadership role, you don't even know how. Maybe you've been with a company for a long time, you've been doing a good job, and company tells you, that is your promotion, would you like to go for it? Maybe internally, you don't want to lead the teams, but who is going to refuse a better paycheck? Who is going to refuse a better title, right? Many of us are not that brave, and so we end up in the leadership role for the wrong reasons. So if this is your why, if this is why you have ended up leading the teams, 100% there will be a day when you wake up feeling extremely unfulfilled and hating your life basically. And trust me, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, if you're not enjoying leading your teams will feel it as well. On the other side, if there is a message that you want to pass on to other people, if there is an impact that you want to have, if there is a difference that you want to make in your company, in your team, 100% go for it. Stick to your why, because that will help you on during the tough times on your leadership journey. And there is a lot of tough times, as we all know. So as the first point, really understanding, knowing yourself better is reflect, stop for a while and understand, why do you want to lead the teams? Point number 2 would be, what is your vision for your team? Now, rest assured, if you work for a large corporate company, there is definitely a vision that company has, what we want to achieve as a company, where we want to get to. However, in the real life, it is very important that you scale this down, because our teams, especially our junior teams, they very often do not relate that much to these big slogans. It is just too vague. And it is more important for them very often to understand what is your vision for that team. I will give you an example from my team. So currently I work and function in a country and a culture where people are not used to expressing their own opinions. They are not used to challenging the status quo. They like to follow. They ask you what to do, you will tell them, and they are great followers. That is not what I want from my team. So my vision for them is to really lead them to independency and to create little leaders out of them instead of followers. I know that once I achieve this, and this is a long process and we are getting there, but it's taking time. But I know that once we get there at least a little bit, that will definitely automatically link to the bigger vision of the company. And then I have got the team that is more capable of delivering what the company expects. So the second point would be, do you know what is your vision, internal vision for your team, and how to get there in order to be a better leader? Number 3 is, what is your leadership style? Now this can be a big one, I believe, these days, because in our minds we have got the picture of a great leader as somebody who is charismatic, who always knows what to say, who can speak to hundreds of people, thousands of people without any hesitation, is always decisive. And this is maybe not you. Maybe you are an introvert who connects the best with people when you are on one-on-one with them, or when you are in the small groups. And this is when you know you are making an impact and people like to relate to you like that in your authentic way. Or maybe you are that loud leader, and maybe you've been told all your life that you speak too much, or that you say too much, or that you are too open, or you are too straightforward, my case. And you know, you start having doubts about yourself, and you start doubting, okay, shall I just close down? Shall I be more quiet? And you know it's not true. It's not your leadership style. So make sure that you understand who you are inside as a leader, so that you can really pass that authentic message through who you really are. Point number 4 is a question from me to you, and the question is, when do you function the best? When do you perform the best? And what do I mean by that? Let me just give you an example of myself. I know I function the best and perform the best when I had 8 hours of sleep a night, when I do my daily yoga, when I do my daily meditation before I go to work. I know that I need to disconnect from my corporate world on a regular basis and go to nature and reconnect with who I really am on my own, in my own space and time. I know that I need to interact with a wider audience, not just my immediate corporate world. Otherwise, I just get cocooned in a small picture and I lose the perspective of bigger things. So it is extremely important to know what serves you the best, so that you are look after your physical, your mental, and your spiritual well-being. What is it? What do you need? What is your routine? Know yourself in order to become a better leader. Point number 5. What are the triggers that get you out of your balance? This is very important, and it is important to be aware of these triggers, because these triggers, if we are not aware of them, if we are not controlling them, if we do not know how to manage them, can get us very quickly out of our leadership journey. They can get us out of our balance, as I said, and we just keep spending our energy and time on managing these triggers. We all been there, right? We know that sometimes we said something a little bit too quickly, we send an email response a little bit too quickly, then we regretted it, or maybe there are toxic people in your environment and you're spending too much on managing those people. So just reflect and be aware what the triggers are that get you out of your balance. Once you know what those triggers are, you can control them. You can maybe step back before you react, before you respond, or maybe you can completely ignore them because they are useless on your leadership journey. So know your triggers, internal triggers, in order to become a better leader, more balanced and more consistent leader. And my last point today is get a coach, my friend, get a coach. You do not need to walk the leadership journey by yourself. There is so much support these days, whatever it is that you need, performance coaching, leadership coaching, spiritual coaching, executive coaching, it is all out there. Just reach out and get help. There is no shame, there is no embarrassment. It is a strength that you go and reach out for help if you need it. And also, I recommend to get a coach from outside of your company, because outside of your company, coaches will be more objective. They are not emotionally attached to you in any way, shape or form, and they will be harder with you. They will really ask you to dig deep. And if you're trying to get off your authentic path, if you're trying just to become an average leader and become like everybody else, they will tell you that. They will show you how to get back on your authentic path. So they will help you to dig deeper, really understand who you are, so that you can become a better leader. So I hope it was helpful today. Thank you very much for sticking with me. If you liked it, please do like it, share it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because these videos are coming out every Tuesday. There is also a regular Saturday blog, which I send to only my subscribers. So if you would like to become part of our community, go to the website, which you can see on the screen right now, and subscribe there as well. Great to talk to you. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you really soon. Bye.